All right, boom.
What's up,
Got it.
y'all? It's Kenny Cummins here. Night two, 15-year anniversary show. I'm joined with my next guest, hip hop artist,
Yeah.
doing some incredible things. True MC, so much music he's put out, and we're gonna talk about it. He goes by the name of Benny Holiday. He's with me right now. What's good?
What's up? Mad love, Kenny. Thank you for having me on the show. Congratulations on the milestone show, man. It's been great to watch your rise and everything. Just thanks for having me involved, man. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you being on. And before I get into the questions, I want to tell you exactly how did I heard of Benny Holiday.
Okay.
I think you might get a kick out of this. So I'm a Spotify addict, okay?
Oh, that's cool.
And on my release radar,
Hmm.
I saw a song on the playlist. The song is called Marinate, and it include Venomous and DJ Green Lantern.
Hell
Now,
yeah.
I'm a fan of Venomous. I've interviewed her before. She's a talented MC,
Hell yeah. That's my homie.
and so shout out to
Yeah.
Venomous.
Shout outs Roberta. What up,
Yeah.
girl?
So I heard she's got some new music in the works.
Hmm.
Maybe not. But
I'm
she
excited. I'd love to hear it.
yeah. Bring it, Venomous. We want to hear some fire for you. We want to hear you, girl.
Hmm.
Then of course, DJ Green Lantern hit the beat for the joint. Hip
Legend.
hop heads.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
you know who DJ Green Lantern is? He's from the mixtape days. Eminem's DJ.
Hmm.
So
Nas is DJ too.
Nas DJ. He's his resume and accomplishment speaks for itself. So Green Lantern, he's definitely one of my favorite DJs and producers. He doesn't get enough props, but he's still doing it long after the mixtape days. So
Yeah. Yeah.
he's still grinding.
And then
So
the N1 mixtapes too. I don't know if you remember that, but that
yeah,
was like everybody's got their golden era. But I was born in 1990, so I was like 10 through like maybe 15 during the N1 era, and that was like the coolest shit, like street basketball. Learning all the trick moves and NBA Street and N1 mixtapes and DJ Green Lantern putting all the rappers going to like the basketball players, like the same way escape videos were being done. They like back then it was crazy just to have only the audio going and just showing visuals like that. It was really cool era.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
Green
I,
Lantern's awesome.
I love the N1 days. I saw the ESPN did a documentary on N1 a few weeks ago, so it's good to see that era is getting its story told.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys like Hot Sauce, Professor, Escalade, you know those
Oh yeah.
guys.
Dude, as a little scrawny white kid, Professor was like Jesus to me, except like way more important and real. Like that was like the coolest dude ever. You know what I mean? I still wear big baggy and one shorts. I'm sure there's a whole lot of us doing that still, but
Yeah.
that's my favorite. And they're like $6. It's the best thing ever.
Professor, man, like, yeah, he was, you could say he's kind of like similar to Jason Williams, Hot Chocolate, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's, but on a street ball level, he's on a
yeah.
street ball level, and in street ball, you can just do whatever. You just make sure you don't get crossover and fall on your butt, and
That's the whole way I started rapping. It was like we used to rap while somebody was guarding you. If you could hit them with like 2 bars about their mom and then make it, then everybody would lose their mind. It was like the coolest. That's my when I'm like 6 years old, kind of like forming my first raps. It's all just trash talk for basketball. I'm sure a lot of places in the South in like the Rust Belt, that was probably how a lot of white rappers started rapping, was probably through basketball.
yeah,
Oh.
absolutely, man. So Benny Holiday, man, talk about your journey as far as being a hip hop artist, being an MC. As far as you said you was born in the '90s,
Hmm.
obviously, but as far as what lured you into becoming an artist?
Man, I think I just it's just part of basketball. Like hip hop and basketball is just kind of like the same culture in the South. Like I went to a school that was pretty much 50% black, 50% white, maybe a little bit more black than white. But like a lot of the white kids were like weird white kids that had like blue hair and wore chucks and shit. Just a different vibe that I like. And I played sports. That's all I did was just play basketball. So like I was more into hip hop than I was like, I still like 70s rock and 60s rocks and shit, but I didn't like 80s rock or like Motley Crue or any of that shit or I never really liked punk rock or anything like that. So hip hop was just part of basketball, and I played a lot of basketball. And so you go to the different parks or in different neighborhoods, you try to get your rep up. It's just like graffiti, you get your name and you want to get up as much as you can. It's like the same way when you're as a street baller, you try to go to every court and be running shit. So that was kind of like my introduction to the street part. And then, just being a knucklehead as a kid, hustling and stuff. Like rapping was just part of the life of the culture, really. I didn't really go for it or anything. I think it was just part of growing up during that time, more kind of thing.
So as far as some of the artists, who are some of the artists that inspire you as an artist?
I'm sorry, I mean it's delicious edible. Um, I don't know. Initially, I'm thinking of I guess when I was like stealing CDs, like in downtown Asheville, where I grew up, I used to go to this place called like Static Age. I might have been like 11 or 12. And they had like a lot of albums that were like this like kind of independent thing that was going on at the time where like this is the time of like LimeWire and like Kazaa and stuff like that, like the download services, Napster. So like you could do well on that, and then record stores would actually buy your album because back then artists still had a foot left in the physical world. So like I would go to these like Best Buy, you could only get people that had distributions through big labels. I didn't know this at the time, but so I would go to these indie spots, and they would have like the Snow Goons and Jedi Mind Tricks and like fucking. I remember maybe in middle school, Rhymesayers records with like Brother Ali, Atmosphere. Was really big on Talib Kweli back then. Really big on Talib Kweli. Yeah, just the early guys in the 2000s Benefit that were doing it. I didn't really think about being a rapper at any point. I think it just slowly became just part of what I did. So yeah, those are the guys that inspired me. Early Rhymesayers crew, especially, definitely.
Yeah, Rhymesayers, then that was definitely the crew. I definitely listened to Talib Kweli, Quality Days, Young Kanye,
Oh
before he
hell
was
yeah! The
yep.
Food. I was just listening to The Food today. Remember when they did it on Chappelle's show and it was Common
Yes.
and yeah, my
Yes.
baby mama's like,
Uh-oh.
Listen, Kanye had some great hooks back in the day. He did a great one for Little Brother, who's from North Carolina too, about like this fat chick and all this stuff. He had so much good stuff back then. Like Kanye's just hooks at the beginning when they're kind of letting him transfer out of like just being a Rockefeller producer into an artist. All those
Yeah.
hooks are like all funny and relatable. He was fucking classic, man. I loved those days.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the beats, the soulful beats, the
Oh, the
sam- the
samples.
con- the samples, Kanye knew how to make it work. And it's just he was a go-to producer for Rockefeller, and he started to branch out and work with other artists. I remember him and Scarface, and Beanie Siegel, and
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2000s was a good time. I love the 90s.
It just doesn't sound sexy when you say the 2000s. Forever gonna be. It's gonna be like a muted era that nobody
Yeah.
really talks about. Because like my uncles like have like mullets from their pictures in the 70s with like thin mustaches. Like it's a cringy era. But like when there's the pictures of all of us with those long ass t-shirts, you know what I mean? We
Yeah.
look. It's cringy. It's like you're like, oh shit. The 90s looks cool. The 80s is understandable. The 2000s is it's truthfully kind of embarrassing. It's kind of looks weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So I'm joined with the homie Benny Holiday. I want to talk about some of the music you put out recently. I'm scrolling through your Spotify profile here. You got
Hmm.
some albums out already. You got Slash Bendagoon, and you
Awesome
have
album.
Hellspawn,
Eh.
and you've released a lot of singles throughout
Yep.
this year. But let's talk about Slash Bendigoon, which the aforementioned Marinate track of Venomous,
Yep.
Green Lantern track. Talk about this album. It's got the old school PlayStation vibes as far as the
Yeah, yeah.
cover. So talk about that particular project.
Well, yeah, man. I just like with our covers and stuff that I do for the albums, I think there's like a certain amount of pixie dust on your brain as a kid that your imagination can kind of like light up. And that's what kind of creates nostalgia. And I try to make it like do the covers so it makes people think of that moment where that used to be like their, like a little bit of escapism or whatever you want to talk, like your video game or whatever you used to play. And just looking at it for a second brings you back. So I always wanted to do that on the cover. And I never like to have my face on the covers like or like a photo shoot. I always thought that was pretty neo or like one of those guys might do that. I just never wanted to do something like that, so I just stick with the video game thing. I got it. Obviously I have a whole bunch of new ones coming out and stuff, and we stick with that. But Slash Bendigoon was just like, it's crazy because I've done so many albums now at this point that they all kind of blend together. But I just know that one was mad funny because I had like the first time I put a funny skit on it and stuff, and people were hitting me up and thought the skit was great. It was a dope album. With DJ Green Lantern, I was at a strip club one night, and there was this rich guy that my man Doug Soul introduced me to, and he likes my music, and he was like, "Yo, what can I do for you?" And I was like, "Man, I just I need some like production for my next album." He's like, "Cool, I'll take care of it right now." And I like literally like got on Instagram and hit up DJ Green Lantern. And he was like, "Yo, here's how much I want for a beat." And I just told this guy, and he was like, "Yeah, anything for Doug." And then he just hooked me up with 2 DJ Green Lantern beats. So it was pretty like it's pretty if I like wouldn't have gone out that night, I never would have got them beats. So shout outs to my manager Doug Soul, because he creates these crazy situations, and I'm just like the guy walking through the story that's happening to me. So that whole album is just a whole bunch of different stories of crazy stuff that happened. But yeah, Venomous is my homegirl. She's been over to where we live in Gastonia. She's been in the hood, and she had a good time. We had mad fun. And she just did a show recently with like Pinky the porn star. Not recently, maybe a year or two ago. But she has a whole bunch of. She's always doing some wild shows that I would like love to be a part of. I think it was at Orangeburg or something. I can't remember. But yeah, shout outs to everybody in the 919. Yeah, it was a great album to make, man. Slash Bendigoon. I got a bunch of new ones coming out, so I'm excited for all the new stuff too.
I must say that this, as far as how did you get the Green Lantern beats, that's a fascinating story.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was a different time of my life.
and that's just part of networking. Obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
if you get networking in the strip club with all
Dude.
the naked women and stuff.
Yeah, if I could just tell you about the legendariness of this manager I have, Doug Soul. He's managed like some of these biggest rock bands, and he's got crazy stories. He was a transporter in the army, and like just an absolute baller. And I'm like a real reserved, like try to stay out of trouble kind of person. But then I get around this guy. He's like an Irish Boston guy who's just like, he's a problem. So, but being able to, everybody's got like the same like amount of, not the same, but like you get chances to take risks in your life, and like sometimes you got to get out of the house and go on the journey and all that stuff. But like certain characters you get provided, and they will provide all the other characters. Like a lot of the famous people I've worked with, I didn't know any of them. I just knew my manager, and I was doing well in the music industry. So all of a sudden I'm sitting there hanging out with Bubba Sparks doing videos and stuff like that. So, just being nice to everybody. And when you see, when God puts people in your path, roll with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Bubba Sparks, man. I mean,
Bubba Sparks.
that debut album went crazy. The Ugly Joint, he's with Timberland, man, he's nice, man. I like Bubba.
Dude, when he shot a video with me, he worked it out with my manager. I think he was super humble about it, and he hooked it up. But like while we were shooting, it was just me and him and like the cameraman. And I think we were like somewhere in like Hermitage, like right outside of Nashville.
Yeah.
And while I'm doing the video with him, he goes, "My first video, we had $400,000 for the budget." And I was like, "Oh shit." He was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh man, I didn't even offer to get his shit at the gas station. Like I was definitely slipping. I should have at least got his fucking shit at the gas station." I didn't realize. I was thinking about it. I'm like, damn, this is like my 30th video, and we're like going on pretty much no money. And this guy's first video, he almost got like $500,000. So
Mm,
yeah, that's kind of
yeah.
just letting you know where we are in the music industry nowadays.
Pretty much, especially on the hip hop side of things, just a lot of changes. We're going from physical to digital days.
Yeah.
Since things like everyone's gotta expand. People gotta evolve, go with the times, I suppose. Like I still buy CD copies every now and then,
Hmm.
mostly through independent artists, because
Yeah.
I'm more of a,
And thanks to everybody that does that, man. I really like once the shows are over and the routes are over, it's just going to be like communication between artists and the fans just by like the CDs, just like a way you support, but it also gives you something to show, and you build a collection. There's some people that got ill collections. So man, thanks to everybody that buys CDs. That's like the last part of the underground left.
yeah. And I have a drawer in this living room, and that
Mhm.
is flooded with nothing but independent CDs. Like
Oh yeah.
the three drawers worth of CDs I've purchased for years.
Yeah.
Obviously before the pandemic and now long after the pandemic. And
I got a
I'm
ton of them just in this room. I
yeah,
love
so
CDs. I love
yeah,
Funkos too. I'm gonna have my own Funko in like 2.5 months. I'm excited about that too.
yeah.
I want to get
So
more into Funkos and the vinyl records too. I haven't had a vinyl record, so I'm trying to do that too.
yeah, I was talking vinyls a little bit early, and my dad still has that vinyl player. Just and he's got all sorts of old school 80s and 70s, just Meatloaf, Stevie Wonder, Elton
Fucking
John.
meatloaf.
Yeah, he's that's his era. That's the music he grew up on.
Here's all
Um,
I got. Or
okay,
the whole room I'm in is just nothing but records. We got
yeah.
a whole bunch of autograph stuff. I got all this studio
Mm.
equipment in front of it, but yeah, I was just had you set up on a vinyl record player, so you know what I
Oh,
mean. We get super down with the vinyl records.
did I just see the Pink Ranger there?
Oh yeah,
I
I got autographs, son. Hold on, can I flip it around? I don't think
yeah,
it's letting me flip it around here.
yeah. I
Boom.
there you go. Yeah, Amy Joe Johnson.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's that thug life out here, baby. We're not playing.
I actually got to meet Amy Joe.
Oh, word.
Yeah, I met her at a
Did you
convention.
propose? I would immediately propose. I'm just throwing the dice. I'm like, I'm never gonna get a chance again. I'm gonna just
I I just had a brief chat because the line was long, and she signed
yeah,
an autograph, and I got a photo op with her.
fucking the audience with an angel. That's what the name of
Yeah.
that moment is in your life.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, what a legendary moment, man.
Yeah, Power Rangers, those were the days, man.
Dog, listen, on that album, that Slash Bendigoon, I
Yeah.
say on that song, I said, I'm on that Jason David Frank tonight. That's when I start with the green and then I change to white. It's fucking
Mm.
like, so like, there's like mad Power Ranger bars in that album. Listen, it's only cool if it's only cool to me and my friends. Like Power Rangers, Star Wars, fucking Kevin Sorbo, all this shit that's just like corny, like fucking VHSs in the back of someone's trailer park in South
Yeah.
Carolina. That's the shit that I think is cool. Fucking shitty Van Damme 80 movies. I love that shit.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Check out Benny Holiday, man. He's got albums out right now. Slash Bendigo, Hell Spawn. You mentioned you got some more music on the way. So talk
Yeah, yeah.
about the new music you got coming up, man.
Shit. Okay. Man, I got fucking like 6 different titles, and then like I've had like different artists. So I basically I got a million different things that I could do, and I don't want to say which one I'm gonna do because then I might have to do it. So I'll just say that I got like maybe 7 or 8 real of my best video, definitely of my best shit yet, with my biggest celebrities, uh, all coming out in the next like month or two, somewhere like maybe late October or early November. But yeah, Benny Holiday, new album coming soon. Shout outs to the Snow Goons. Shout outs to my girl Roberta, aka Venomous, and shout outs to Kenny. You know what I mean? Mad love, man.
Man, love to you, man. Thank you so much for being on tonight, having a lot of good time. And just I'm gonna have your music on the Music Monday series as well. So
Thank you, man. Thank you for that.
I'll definitely fit some Benny Holiday in the playlist somewhere. I'll definitely put some stuff on there for sure. Thank you, Benny. Continued success, brother. Keep
Mad
doing your
love, man.
thing.
Yeah, have me back some other time. I want to come back soon when I'm promoting my record and we can just talk about Power Rangers for a half hour. It's gonna be awesome.
Hey, say no more, man. We got that.
Yeah. Mad love, homie. Have a good night.
You too, man. You
All
too.
right, congratulations on the show. Peace, man.
Peace, man. Peace and love.